Hello and welcome. This is I Seen You Before, and welcome back to another episode in What Do We Know So Far about Dominions 5. And together I have with me Sam. How are you doing today, Sam?
Yeah, he brought me on to talk with him because too many episodes alone.
We're gonna get one more on the blessers. I think it's better to get the opinion of two people on the blessers because there's a lot of them actually, and but we still don't know how it's gonna wrap up. But we can have opinions on a lot of things. Like one thing both me and Sam noticed was the amazing amount of stacking elemental weapons. Yeah.
Oh, goodbye. I hope they give Theranos something because this is gonna really ruin their ethereal game.
Yep, definitely. So let's get started with the first few ones. Blessed quickness is now 4 quickness. We're back to being the quickness that was in Dominions 2, I believe, where it's actually worth 2 full attacks. Blessers need 4 in a magic path as before, with the exception of having 3 in every elemental path or having 3 in every sorcery path. So that means you can either specialize in elemental magic or sorcery magic and just go for a maximum of 3 in all of them. So I guess there's some blessers that will unlock with getting a combination of those. Blessers don't normally stack. Weapon blessers are the exception. That's the thing we're gonna see in a couple of minutes.
Oh boy.
And that's the new thing that we need to keep into account. There's gonna be 3 types of blessers now. Passive blessers, the ones that are always active for holy units. Normal blessers, but one that we already know, so that means you need to go in battle and cast blessing. And blessers that also need your pretender to be on the map. I think that's the new type of blessing, and that's what they call incarnate blessers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. That'll be interesting. it'll definitely make awake blessed pretenders actually more viable.
Yeah, that would definitely make them more. But we don't know how it all turns out. But would definitely make them more viable. So you can see a few of the incarnate over there. I think what we should actually do is take a quick look at that list that I have right now.
Alright.
Okay, so this is don't mind the typo up there. This is not a list of spells. It's actually a list of blessers. So taking that into account, we can see that taking some fire gives you some fire resistance at first. And there's also dual blessers, such as fire and death giving you wasteland survival. 3 gives you attack skill. 4 gives you inspirational presence. I believe that will be mostly to commanders only, right?
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing here is that remember the stat bonuses that you typically got with blesses in Dominions 4?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it's gonna be a thing here, which is definitely gonna change how a lot of sacreds are actually gonna work.
And I think it's not they don't get selected automatically. You select which one you want, right?
So it will be interesting. It's a lot of it is gonna matter as far as we can see this, but a lot of it also is gonna matter on the point values of these blesses, which we don't know at this time.
But the one thing I love with this change is that it's gonna make every god design pretty customizable, because you're the one selecting what you want out of your bless effect.
Yeah. It actually makes me want to play more Sacred Nations. A problem with a lot of nations that use a lot of Sacreds in Dominions 4 was that they started feeling very samey after a while.
But the one thing I'm thinking, if they're making such a big change on Sacred and the game title is called Warriors of the Fifth, maybe there'll be a rework on how many Sacreds every nation have.
Maybe. Or maybe they'll make a lot less of them. Maybe a lot less of them will be cap only. That would be nice.
also make a way to turn units into sacred units.
Well, that could also be something. I'm kind of interested because the tattoos make me think. The tattoos and some other things told to Icenium before have suggested that they're experimenting a lot more with spells to modify units.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, because that means even your national armies that eventually get replaced in the mid game might find a bit more of a stretched use. We don't really know about that.
Yeah, it would be nice if I could keep using formation fighters out. That thing sounds so fun.
Yeah, formation fighters will be great. Let's get back to the subject and talk about sacred units. With Death Explosion at Fire 5, that's gonna be useful for crappy sacreds that just end up dying. They also have a Heat Aura. By the way, those are the incarnate only spells. Do you hear the motor right now, the engine, or no?
Yeah, I hear a motor of
I'm
an
just
engine.
gonna close the door. Amazing. They are all in a parking, and somehow we find a way to speed up like that. But long story short, now at Fire 6 we'll have a Heat Aura. That's gonna be particularly useful for nations such as Abysia, or that require radiating heat.
Went to the fire shield. Yeah, that's the one.
That's very interesting. If units start getting fire shields now, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds wonderful for a lot of Fire Nations.
Yes, definitely. No, I thought I'd be able to see here what's going. Attack skill +2. I think that's what it means here. Oh yeah, see, we can compare it a tiny bit. Attack skill +2. Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about. The attack skill becomes +2 attack at here.
Okay, now can you hear anything on my side?
No,
because
no, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a leaf blower outside now.
No worries. And that's also amazing. Flaming Weapons is now at Fire 7.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually gonna be really good for like this fire. They really seem to be buffing fire.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, I feel is nice because the Fire Bless still wasn't enough for a lot of Fire Nations when it first came out.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. It was strong if you had it with Vance, where you could dual bless water and fire. That used to hurt a lot.
Yeah, well, at least it seems to be more benefiting Fire Nations with fire in them, rather than just everyone else but the Fire Nations.
And finally, Fire 8 gives them Owl. That's gonna be really interesting. I wonder what type of combos will be possible with this.
I just want to spam Fire Shield, Flaming Weapons, and Owl. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Even a simple combination of Fire Shields and Owl will be amazing.
Yeah. There's Fire looks pretty, like, I would say Fire is pretty interesting. I mean, you can even have Suicide Troops similar to late age Agartha. With Death Explosion.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be pretty fun with
But that would be useful for sacreds that die too easily, like the Malignant, the Flagellants, or even Borgerus. The Sneak too. You could have a sneaky Suicide Squad.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should move on to the next one.
Definitely. So one in air will give you minus shock resistance, which you can see right over there gives us +5 to lightning resist. Precision, I believe, probably will buff something like +2 to precision itself. I don't know. There's none here. I'm trying to look for it. I don't see any. Far shot, it's nope. Since Forecaster is 50% to combat spell range, I'm gonna assume that Foreshot means that you increase the range of the weapon.
Yeah, I think it's just like the older Air Blast where it increases missile range.
And Swiftness is okay, plus 30% movement in combat, and it's stackable. That might be useful for some cavalry units. They'll get a bonus on their charge. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, that might actually be useful for actually Calum.
Yeah.
Calum. Callum. Yeah. Because their big weakness with their lances is that they don't have enough movement to actually use them.
Yeah, definitely. That might make Callum a bit more usable because their units are just trash.
Light lances are not bad weapons. It's just that the Callum units are just so terrible they make them worthless.
Major shock resistance is probably improved version of shock resistance, and then Fire 4 now give us charge buddies, which is we already knew the spell, but now we might there's possible combo of creating pretty strong tanks or lightning units. That's gonna be an interesting change.
Yeah, this would actually be pretty nasty if they keep the sacred Agrathan statues. This would actually be a decent replacement, actually, now that I think about it.
Definitely.
Because with shock resistance and charged bodies, that means that the typical way to get through their defense, their high protection, is kind of harder now.
And let's keep moving on the incarnate only spells. Windwalker, we can see it right there. I think it actually affects the sacreds even when they're not blessed. Units can march further, plus 6 map move for all sacreds, even when they're
that
blessed.
would be amazing on statues, actually.
Yeah.
If statues stay the same, that will pretty much make them the fastest units.
Cannot be stuck incarnate only. And air shields, I don't think air shield changed much. Thunder weapons right over there. 1 armor negating lightning capped on hit, but then deals 3 armor negating lightning stun damage. If lightning damage can stun, making units not act for about 1 turn and giving minus 75% defense. Well, that will destroy glamour units now.
Or glamour units can use it, but sounds like that sounds a lot like Conquest of Elysium 4.
Yes, where electric damage would stun units, right?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see some of the mechanics of Conquest of Elysium bleeding into here. Maybe we should pick up the pace a tiny bit. That thing is very big now when I'm looking at it. Okay,
yeah. So we should go.
Minor core resistance, combination power with nature of swamp survival. That's one thing we notice is that if you take a rainbow mage, you probably end up with a lot of nifty, handy blessers, but nothing major like the major blessers.
Yeah, it definitely sounds nice. I mean, rainbow mages have a purpose for blessed nations. That's
Definitely.
good.
A rainbow mage will be able to get, for example, just some major resistance everywhere, swamp survival, wasteland survival, some defense, some water walking as well, which means you can cross rivers. That's pretty handy. And then all the other ones that we haven't taken a look at. So we'll go as we go. We'll just mention them. So defense skill is probably +2 to defense. It's not on this list here, so I don't really know. Oh, charge buddies is over there. Sorry, we're gonna just do a quick jump. Oh, it's once per battle. It's 10 lightning armor negating damage that applies both to the attacker and the blessed unit. So you might need to take some resistance if you're planning to use charge buddies. But that's gonna be handy. It's like it's gonna be very useful for walling of sacreds because you don't want sacreds usually rush forward first or flanking and will end up hitting those and that will hurt. Very useful for a lot of tankier sacreds, by the way. Yeah. Then we have frosted. We're going into the incarnate trees of the water. Frosted weapons at wow, this one depends on your skill. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm thinking it probably also has to deal with the scale. I wonder if it has to deal with the scale in the province. That could actually be really interesting to play with.
Whoa! So what does frost weapon do? Let's take a look right there. 8 cold damage on hit. That's not
Oh,
bad
yeah.
at all.
Okay, yeah, I can understand why they want to limit it.
That's very
Let me-
cool. That's very fucking cool, Sam.
yeah. Wow, if you stack that with the next one, Chill Aura.
Yeah, chill aura.
Anyone
But
who
some
knows
water
chill aura.
breathing. Water breathing. That's pretty useful as well. Now almost everyone has a chance at underwater, except those nations that are just specialized in underwater. And finally, at I think this is 9, right? 1.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 9. Water 9. You get the good old quickness, which has been buffed back to what it was before. And with a new battle system, that might potentially mean it's going to be very powerful.
Yeah, it does have that one change with age, though.
Yes, yes. Quickness now makes you age twice as fast. So let's move on to Earth. So low level Earth will give you mountain survival, the good old reinvigoration that everyone used to want, and then reconstruction. I think reconstruction is actually what will repair statues and whatever what used to be lifeless summoned units.
And then Unbreakable. Okay, so it looks like they really want to say MA Agartha should just take tons of statues.
Pretty much.
They should just take...
There's a cross-path of making stuff larger too.
Yeah, that would be useful for tramplers, actually. Those could damage some statues pretty bad.
And Earth also gets a built-in fire and shock resistance. That might be a bit interesting.
Oh boy, they're just gonna tank. Statues are still there. No.
And then Fortitude right over there at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Earth. Fortitude grants all weapon resist and post resist damage now rounds down. My god. What?
Oh.
Whoa, we will be like tanks now. Wow, that's insane.
Like that gives them blunt resistance too.
Yeah.
Like that was the one weakness of the statues.
Yeah. And I have no clue what hard skin is. I'm guessing it's a buff to protection.
Yeah, I'm guessing it might be 5 or 10 protection.
Yeah.
One of those.
And let us move on to Astral, minor magic resistance. Arcane Command probably gives you more magic unit leadership to your sacreds. That's what I'm thinking. Spirit Sight. Okay,
that would be...
It's right there. Death Vengeance. DV is Death Vengeance, right?
Okay. Dark Vision.
Oh, Dark Vision. Yeah, makes more sense. Dark Vision 100%. The ability to see invisible units. Currently just 1. Oh. Wow.
Oh my... Oh, well, I know what I'm using soon. Titan of the Underworld. I want to equip him as Thug now.
Yeah, you gotta use him before he gets nerfed.
Yes, use him before he gets nerfed. I will solo expand.
So Spirit Sight will help you find invisible units, which is just a Titan of the Underworld right now. Also, 2 Astral gives you magic weapons. I think that's a very interesting and minor buff, but where is it? Magic weapons. Flaming Thunder for Solar, Withering, Death Poison, and Holy.
Okay, I think it just gets the magic damage tag then.
Yeah, I think they just get magic damage. That's actually great. Like, taking low paths, it already gives you an early magic weapons.
Yeah, that pretty much means ethereal spam is...
Yeah.
Oh, ethereal spam is kind of dead.
It won't be as strong unless you fight nations that don't have a lot of sacred. But that's highly unlikely because there are so many... There's so many changes to sacred and blessing mechanics. I think sacred units are gonna play a way more important role in this game.
I think they're gonna find a way to push lots of sacred units into the game, especially since the name of the game is Warriors of the Faith, I think.
Yeah, I think, like we were talking earlier, definitely that's what I believe they would do because it's been hinted. So probably sacreds are getting a rework, but we don't really know yet. And maybe everyone has been instructed not to talk a lot about them, but it looks like that so far. Solar weapons will give us 3 fire armor piercing on hit, extra damage versus undead and demons. That might be
Oh, so
handy
like,
for people who want to fight Ermo and all the demon and all that stuff.
yeah, that's definitely a nice thing, nice bless, since demons were pretty powerful in Dominion's Fort. They were hard to stop once they got rolling.
Definitely, especially when you have like 100 devil armies. Those are pretty tough to take care of.
Mhm.
Forecaster, I think that's a very interesting bless. Forecaster increases 50% to combat spell range, so that will mean that you'll be able to cast your spells at even a further range. I think that's a pretty strong buff. You'll be able to reach out earlier into the stack of the enemy unit while they're still holding position.
Yeah, I think that will actually be one of the best blesses around. Blesses around come late game, just because a lot of the problems with a lot of spells are their low range, and just increasing that by 50% means that
permits them to just hit the enemy on turn 1 instead of having to waste a few turns. But the other question will be the casting mechanics, right? That's one of the things that's on our mind right now. We don't really know how it turns out.
Yeah, it could be that mages are really nerfed.
It's different from what I said. From what I heard, if let's say there's a spell that you cast requiring 200 fatigue, one turn will be used to cast the spell, right? During that one turn, you can get interrupted. After one turn, he casts the spell, and then he takes one turn to recover. If something costs 200 fatigue. If something costs 150 fatigue, you take 3/4 of a turn to cast the spell, and 3/4 later worth of a turn to recover. That's how I read it works.
It will be interesting then.
It sounds a lot like a Conquest of Elysium. Like they merged the combat engine together almost.
Yeah, well, I can't say I'm exactly that sad about that, since Conquest of Elysium 4 was fun, even though
its
it was
system is fun. It's just it lacked some depth. It just felt like playing Dominion's Monopoly, kinda.
Yeah, and just dying to a cultist at the end.
Yeah, or random stuff.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't take that element of Conquest of Elysium 4 into this game.
Dominions doesn't have that much randomness. Arcane Finesse, +1 to spell penetration. That's gonna be interesting in Astral buff, I believe.
That was really hard to get, spell penetration.
Yeah, now it's just presented there as a buff. Let's see. Then we have Twist Fate. That's probably the old buff.
Yeah,
like the old Astral 9 buff.
Oh, that buff was underwhelming.
I think there's something called Fate Weaving.
Oh, how's that?
It requires 1 in Misfortune. I have no clue what Fate Weaving does. Oh, wait, here.
It curses people, yeah.
Anyone striking blessed units gets cursed and has bad luck for the next few rounds of combat.
So, if I think about Conquest of Elysium 4, that means like 75% roll to get plus 75% or something like that. It'd be something crazy. It probably means that they get hit more often.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt.
They don't hit a lot either. Sounds like a good stuff.
And then the other one gives you luck. That means luck. I wonder if luck was reworked. That's one thing we need to check.
I hope the luck gets... I wonder if luck will be similar to how it was.
Luck to be back to Dominions too, come on.
It's just like another ethereal, basically.
Yeah. And lastly, this one gives you etherealness.
Yeah, that's... Well, I guess it's not as strong now, just because... Look at how many ways there is to
But what happens if a nation like Ermo ends up with that?
What?
What happens if like middle-aged Ermo ends up with that?
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting to see.
But also curious to see
how it works out with all those buffs, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of sacred units. Yeah. I mean, even your even their own sacred units can easily get weapons to hurt ethereal units.
Definitely. So we don't know how it's gonna turn out. It's gonna be very interesting, and I think the incarnate only buffs are gonna be. It's gonna be very strong, but you won't be able to pick more than a couple, if not only one of those, because they look really strong, and you'll probably need an awake pretender to make use of it.
I'm really curious how they're gonna do sacred. Sacreds are definitely something I just need to see in person. See how they work, because they're changing so much about them.
I know. Well, you know what, Sam? This video lasted a bit longer than we planned. So we're gonna make it into a two-part. We'll just finish this episode talking about death magic, nature, and blood magic, and a few things that we might have missed in the changelog. So thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll be back in the next episode very shortly.